Hey lovely people! Welcome back to the channel where we always spill the real tea, dive into those deeply hidden layers of your favorite stars, and bring you closer than ever to the emotional undercurrents behind the glossy world of Korean entertainment. And trust me, today's story is one that'll have you gasping, replaying clips, and even whispering, "No way!" under your breath, because we're not just talking about a normal event. We're talking about a night where the tension was so thick, it was practically a third celebrity on the red carpet. And at the center of it all, two men who need no introduction. Joong and Lee Min-ho. Now, before we even begin to unpack what really went down between these two megastars, let's set the scene a little, shall we? Imagine a gorgeous evening in Seoul, lights gleaming off the glass towers like stars that descended for a night of glitz, glamour, and celebrity magic. A major entertainment network had thrown one of its biggest annual gala nights, an exclusive invitation-only event that brought together the titans of Korean film, television, fashion, and music. Everyone whose anyone was in attendance. It was supposed to be a night of celebration, applause, champagne, mail. But the moment Joong walked in, flashing that signature calm smile, and the moment Lee Min-ho entered minutes later with his cool, controlled stride, the air seemed to change. Not just for the fans watching from their phones, but even for insiders who were present at the event. There was an energy shift, a subtle flick of emotion that hinted at something deep, unspoken, and very, very real. Now, if you're wondering if it was just coincidence or the regular awkwardness that sometimes happens at these events, oh no, this was not your ordinary red carpet situation. This was more than that. Fans, reporters, and even body language experts were all over this within seconds. From the moment they both arrived until the very last frame of the event, Lee Min-ho and Joong managed to never once make direct eye contact, let alone exchange a greeting, handshake, or nod. For two people in the same industry, on the same guest list, at the same elite event, in the same hall. That's a lot of avoidance. Let's go through the timeline together, as if we were right there, shall we? Lee Min-ho arrived first, dressed in a classic black double-breasted suit, tailored to perfection. He waved gently at the press, took his time with a few camera poses, gave a quick smile that didn't quite reach his eyes, and entered the main reception area. Less than 10 minutes later, Joong arrived. He was also in black, but his tux had a sleek satin trim that caught the light just right. He smiled too. He even made a few light jokes with the photographers. But the second he walked into the reception area, that smile faded just a fraction. Not in a way most people would notice, but fans did. Because they know these stars so intimately. Sometimes it's the smallest changes that scream the loudest. Joong scanned the room. Lee Min-ho had positioned himself near the far end, talking to a few producers and stylists. Joong's eyes never made it all the way there. He stopped halfway, nodded briefly, and deliberately turned to the other side. Within minutes, they were at opposite ends of the hall. And here's where it gets even more intense. Multiple seating arrangements had been prepared for different groups. Actors with actors, directors with producers, and so on. But the moment the formal dinner began, insiders claimed that Joong requested a change in seating. He was originally placed at the same table as several top drama leads, including Lee Min-ho. But just moments before the dinner, he was seen speaking quietly with a coordinator. And just like that, he ended up seated at a different table altogether, on the other side of the ballroom. Coincidence? Let's add another piece to this puzzle. The award ceremony began. Lights dimmed, music played, celebrities clapped, and then came a surprise segment, a retrospective montage of legendary K-drama moments. On the giant screen appeared clips from iconic series like Crash Landing on You, Boys Over Flowers, Mr. Sunshine, and Descendants of the Sun. You already know what's coming. The montage hit that unforgettable dots kiss scene. Joong and Song Hye-kyo's chemistry was undeniable. Even now, years after their divorce, that scene still sets hearts racing. The camera panned to Joong. His expression softened. Just for a moment, the old warmth returned to his eyes. It was subtle, fleeting, but fans saw it. The camera then cut to Lee Min-ho, who was visibly stone-faced. No applause, no smile. Just a slow reach for his water glass, followed by a firm sip. That clip of him sipping water during that exact moment. You better believe it went viral. People were calling it the emotional gulp, the jealous drink, and even the icy hydration. Memes were born. Fan edits exploded. TikTok went into meltdown mode. But we're just getting started. After the award segment, guests moved to a post-ceremony cocktail lounge. Now, typically at these events, stars mingle, chat, and network. But multiple fan cams captured what might just be the most carefully choreographed avoidance in K-drama history. Lee Min-ho entered the lounge first. As he stood near the large window, A small circle of fellow actors began forming around him. Joong entered minutes later, spotted the crowd, and walked straight past them without a glance. He veered off to the far left, greeting two foreign directors and standing close to a decorative floral arrangement that fans are now calling the flower wall of emotional separation. And if that wasn't enough tension, let's talk about the moment they nearly crossed paths. A server carrying drinks accidentally stepped between Joong and Min Ho's circles. Both actors turned slightly at the same time, facing one another for a split second. The air froze. Fans watching the live feed held their breath. But instead of greeting, they both turned their heads in opposite directions. Simultaneously, it was an unspoken message as loud as thunder. Not tonight. Not here. Not ready. People online lost it. Comments flooded in like waves. Did y'all see that moment? They were 2 feet away and just pretended the other didn't exist. Lee Min Ho literally walked past him like he was invisible. The level of awkward tension, phew. It's like watching a real-life K-drama. But why? What's really going on beneath the surface? We can't ignore the obvious connection. Song Hye-kyo, the woman whose presence lingers in both men's lives like a fragrance you can't forget. Her love story with Joong was once the dream of a generation. Their wedding was a fairy tale. Their divorce, a shock that still echoes in fan hearts. And then Lee Min Ho. The rumored closeness, the private vacation snaps, the hidden messages in interviews, that bracelet she wore, that comment he made in a viral interview. She is the love of my life. And her smile when asked about him. The silence that says everything. Can two men with so much history and emotion surrounding the same woman truly stand in the same room without a storm brewing? Apparently not. This wasn't just a party. This was emotional warfare in black tuxedos. And here's the part that hits deepest. We may never fully know what conversations have happened behind closed doors. Whether they've spoken since. Whether apologies were exchanged. Or if hurt still lingers. Whether there's regret, rivalry, or just two hearts still healing in silence. But what we saw at that event was real. Unfiltered. And heartbreaking in a way that only true emotional entanglement can be. So now we want to hear from you, beautiful fam. Grab your cup of tea, cozy up and tell us. Fire, did you see the moment they turned away from each other? What do you think was going through their minds? Fire, was Lee Min Ho's sip of water just a sip? Or was it the sip heard around the world? Fire, and do you think Song Joong still carries feelings for Song Hye-kyo? Fire, is this love triangle still alive in 2025? Or are we watching something even deeper unfold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's unpack this together, because moments like these remind us that even the biggest stars carry wounds, hold love, and live through chapters that never quite close. And if you're still here reading, thank you. Truly. This community. You're not just viewers. You're family. And as long as stories like this keep unfolding, we'll be right here together, breaking it down one emotional scene at a time. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep believing in the magic of love, even when it's tangled in silence. Red heart, broken heart, glowing star.